following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the WZWA fucking network. I'm your host, Karlifornia, right here, right now, to do my review show of today's WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view here in 2022. This is now 3 reviews in 3 days. No, I'm sorry, 3 reviews in 2 days. I guess that makes me number 1. So thank you all for being here and checking out this review. Really appreciate it. Let's crack on with it, hey, motherfucker. Straight up, first matchup of the show, triple threat, Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. Going into this, you know, I groan because I hate multi-people matches. I've always hated multi-person matches, unless they're done right. Once again, I hate the graphics that float in the air during people's entrances. Eric Bischoff is right. Everything is too squeaky clean. You know, when he said, I want to be able to smell the popcorn. That's such a great point. And you don't feel like that with WWE anymore because they got a fucking screen on every fucking thing in the building. One question, what does the Empress of Tomorrow mean? When is she going to be the Empress of Now? That's the question I have, Asuka, because I don't like that name that you get given, because to me it means nothing. Bianca Belair, you know, this woman is built for WWE, and I really hoped that she was going to retain here. 14 minutes into this pay-per-view, before the first match began, WWE fuck around so much and they plod along so fucking much. So the match began. I like that Bianca rushes for pinfall attempts. That's what wrestling is all about. It's about trying to get a pinfall. That's supposed to be the most important thing in a match. It drives me crazy when someone clearly has wiped someone the fuck out and then they pick them up again to do another move to them. Fuck, man. Like, it's about getting the pinfall. It's not about showing off. There was a great start to this match, and just further cemented to me that the ladies in WWE just seem more polished than the ladies in AEW, because I compare Liv and Rhea Ripley's work later on, compare that to Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, compare that to Jade Cargill and Anna Jay the other week for Double or Nothing. And it's just, to me, it just feels like it's night and day, you know, when you compare the women on both pay-per-views, because the women on the WWE, there weren't any botches. There was no awkward moments. There were no moments like when you see a Jade Cargill perform and she's thinking of her spots, so she forgets to utilize facial expressions. It's a hard fucking thing to do. Wrestling is difficult. It's not fucking easy. And a lot of people out there don't realize that. And so to blow smoke up people's asses in AEW when they clearly need work and keep coming up with excuses, it doesn't help anyone in the long run, you bunch of fucking idiots. Triple threats and multi-person matches. One thing that's a fucking pet peeve of mine, there's always a third person who's down on the outside for a prolonged amount of time. And then there are even times where you see them like peering over the ring apron to waiting for their spot to come back in. That stuff drives me insane, bro. Just to take another sidebar, having 2 women's world titles makes me feel like it doesn't mean as much. I like that Reigns has both the belts for the men now. I just don't think that there needs to be 2 women's titles, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. There should be one women's championship. That women's champion goes to both shows, and that's as far as I'm concerned the best way to go about this. They've never really given it a proper fucking try since the fucking beginning, when they fucking first had a undisputed champion. They did it for a couple months and just gave up. And you know, I understood at the time, you know, they wanted to have Triple H have some sort of thing on Raw whilst Brock was on SmackDown or whatever the fuck it was. But this is a problem with women's wrestling in WWE. They don't have levels, right? So Bianca Belair is only like a few years into her career, and she's already a multiple-time world champion. Judging by Bianca Belair and her body, her athleticism, her ability, you can tell this woman she's built to last. She's going to be around for a while. Like, I would say at least another 10, 15 years, maybe 15, but at least another 10. She's got a whole heap of fucking gas left in the tank. Where does she go from here as a character? She's already hit the tippy top of the mountain. Where do you go with her from here? That's what I'm talking about with levels. I'll get back to the review very quickly, but I thought it was important to talk about this. You bring in Bret Hart. He's in a tag team called the Hart Foundation. They become multiple-time world tag team champions, and they stay together for a good period of time. Then he finally breaks out. He becomes Intercontinental Champion. He wins it a second time. He maybe wins it a third time. He defends the title at, several WrestleManias or whatever. He's building up and building up and building up. That's what makes the journey to him becoming WWF Champion mean something, because he went through those appropriate levels to get there. Okay, yes, he won the championship off Ric Flair in Saskatoon, but then he had to lose the belt to Yokozuna at WrestleMania. So the following year, WrestleMania 10, this big comeback, he becomes King of the Ring, and he wins the fucking Royal Rumble again, and then he finally fucking wins the World Championship, the WWF Championship in Madison Square Garden at WrestleMania 10. What a fucking journey to get there. And you can look back and you see this history of things that were accomplished along the way to getting to that moment. That's what I think is missing in a lot of WWE storytelling over the last 10, 15, 20 years, is that somebody's journey before they get to that point. You have that journey. That's what makes the fucking title win meaningful. That's what makes it mean. Sorry, I had some Indian food, so my nose is running. It was very hot. But look, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to levels. And when you become a women's champion in WWE, what did you do to get there? What did you accomplish along the way? You came in, you wrestled, you had feuds, and then you became world champion. And I don't even count the tag titles because they don't fucking do anything with them. AEW kind of got it right in a sense that they had that TBS championship. So now there's a level. So you start off small, you become TBS champion, you're in that division for a while, and then eventually one day you get your shot at the main title. So that's what I really think. And some people out there might think, well, what's the difference? There's two titles. No, because it's a world title, so it doesn't make it as meaningful. I think it would be more meaningful if you had a secondary championship and the main title. Because fuck, man, remember that time when we had two world champions for the longest time? How many fucking people were multiple fucking time world champions? Jack Swagger was a world champion. Del Rio was a world champion. It just seemed like anyone could fucking be world champion. So anyway, I'll get back to the match now. You can tell this match is choreographed, but the difference is that you can see them continue to sell and stay in character. They're not thinking about their spots over and over and over to the point where it's affecting their performance. I hate the manhandle slam. I wish he wouldn't do it, just like I wish Owens wouldn't do the fucking stunner. I liked the finish, and I'm glad Bianca retained. I thought that was a great way to finish, and let's move forward. Omos and MVP in a handicap match against Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley. This is 44 minutes into the show, and the second match is about to begin. I was definitely interested in this one, and I don't understand the criticism of Omos from all the marks out. You know what? I do. It's so fucking typical. Oh, he's big and he doesn't do any flips, and it's boring. Watching big man wrestling matches are boring. Fuck you and your shit fucking opinion. MJF was actually right about something there. Your opinions, for the most part, are shit. Most of you. Some of you are all right, but most of you have no fucking idea. And I know because I've seen comments from people on fucking Twitter. Terrible, absolutely terrible fucking ideas coming from marks these days. So how dare they even think that their fucking criticism means shit when talking about Omos, who is a fucking attraction. I love the part where Omos had his hand in the air and Lashley went to reach for it and then he lifted the other one. That is old school Scott Hall right there. You know, when I saw MVP and Lashley kind of square off, I thought to myself, it's kind of sad knowing that teaming of those two is over for good, because I really thought that they clicked as a unit. And you know, look, let's call a spade a spade. Everyone agrees that the Hurt Business was a fucking awesome stable, and it's bullshit that Vince fucking put the kibosh on it. Unbelievable, man. Something like that could have gone for years, and it would have been so good for Shelton and so good for Cedric Alexander, who before that I did not give two fucks about. When he was in the Hurt Business, all of a sudden I gave a fuck. What do you fucking know? I'll talk about that a little bit more later about Damian Priest. So it's great seeing MVP still wrestling in 2022. Lashley getting fucking blasted through the barricade was sick. Cedric gets involved. I wrote, where's Shelton? I don't know what's going on with Shelton Benjamin, but you know, if you don't have him in the group anymore, then he's not doing anything. At least he was doing something before. Fuck me dead. MVP gets put in the Hurt Lock. It was a great way for Lashley to get his revenge and protect Omos. Moving forward, Kevin Owens taking on Ezekiel. This is the first time I've seen Ezekiel. Obviously, it is Elias, but this is such a dumb storyline. Six starts of the match with the jumping knee, got a bit of a reaction from the audience, followed by the big elbow from the top. Owens kicked out. You know, I always thought Elias, aka Ezekiel, I always thought he could be a major star. I really did. It's just like with Bray Wyatt, like they had something right there that fucking worked and could work, but they just weren't creative enough to know what scenarios to put these guys in. It's so fucking obvious. They couldn't write to their ability. Let's just say that. So yeah, it's such a dumb storyline, but from all accounts, I believe people have loved it. And you know what? I have had a love-hate relationship with Kevin Owens for quite some time. When I first saw him in NXT, I thought he was a breath of fresh air. I really liked his shit. I liked it when he came in and he beat Cena. And then as time wore on, I just started not really liking him. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's all the marks fucking sucking his dick all the time. I don't know. I wish he would stop using the fucking stunner, man. Please. Why did someone say to him, that's a great idea, let's give Owens the stunner? Like, fucking please. I do pop over the fact that Owens is so fucking obsessed with proving that Ezekiel is Elias. And I just wrote, what's it to Owens if he's Elias or not? Who cares? Well, why is this is only happens in wrestling. This doesn't happen in real life. I wasn't sure about the clean win for Kevin Owens. But okay, just don't send Ezekiel back home when you can't figure out where to go with him. You know, I don't know if it was a good idea to have. I mean, I know Owens lost to Austin at Mania and he needs to get a win back or whatever the fuck. But, you know, you got this new character now. You want to push him. You want him to at least seem like a threat, seem like it matters. And if you fucking cut him off here already, where do we go? Hopefully, I am just being dramatic. Let's move forward. The Judgment Day. Fuck, man. I am digging this stable. I think this is cool as fuck. They take on Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and the ever so sexy Liv Morgan. Good Lord. Honestly, this is a sick group. I really hope the group grows to like 8 or 9 people. I want a super stable. It's been so long since we had a super stable, like the Ministry of Darkness, like the Corporation, like the NWO. Let's do it. Let's just go for it. Let's go crazy. Edge, you made the right call with the haircut, bro, because your hair was starting to go fucking nuts. And although I will mention something about his hair later on, loved the brawl to start off. The crowd came unglued for it. I love the teamwork with Liv and the assisted Hurricane Rana on Rhea Ripley. That was really cool. I think putting Liv Morgan with workers like Balor and AJ is going to 100% help her in her ability. The Rhea headbutt was fucking sick. And you know what? It's strange. I'm not hating on Balor right now because he's in a spot where he should be. He shouldn't be anywhere near the main event as far as I'm concerned. It always annoyed me because I just didn't think that was the spot he should be in. I always thought he should be in the mid card and that's it. So what do you know? He's not being put in those positions. I don't hate him as much. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. He hasn't really done anything wrong. It's just I don't like the character and I don't like the demon. So the Judgment Day, a lot of people give him flack for this name because it was a pay-per-view name for many years, but the Judgment Day, I think it's growing on me as a name. Sometimes when I see Edge wrestle, I'm thinking, I still can't believe Edge is wrestling in 2022. You can tell with this angle that Edge has a heap of creative freedom. He's being allowed to be a part of decision-making or who's going to be in the group. You can just tell, you can tell everything that Edge does, he has a hand in. And that's what's led to pretty much every angle he's done since coming back has been fantastic. Great viewing in a sea of shit. There's some great hope spots in this. It was a struggle. The heat was so good because it started to piss me off that Finn couldn't get the tag. This match was light years better than the House of Black versus Death Triangle, which had no fucking psychology, and people fucking blew their load over it. And when I say people, I don't really mean people, I mean marks. This was a fantastically told story. A phenomenal forearm and the pin break by Damian Priest was great. And I wrote, again, I actually care about Damian Priest. What do you fucking know? Wow, imagine that. It didn't take much, but for the longest time, I couldn't have given two fucks about him or Bad fucking Bunny. Fuck. Clearly, Liv Morgan has improved so much. She should be up for most improved of 2022. But of course, Dave Meltzer will probably be like, I'd have to give most improved to Willie Yuta, because AEW and so that was just a terrific match. When Edge's hair went a little crazy, he looked like a legitimate Bart Simpson. His hair was standing up like that at one stage. He looked like Bart Simpson. Great finish, match of the show so far. Moving forward, Madcap Moss versus Baron Corbin, no holds barred. Let's try and get this done in the next 11 minutes. Madcap's updated look is much better. Thank you. I've been asking for it. Now I got it. But he needs a little bit more flashiness in the outfit. You can't just give him just black tights. There was nothing much to say early on. A very physical affair. Chair shots, this is the problem with WWE hardcore matches. Matches like this, there's only so much they can do, isn't there? Because you don't do anything to the head. And I understand why you can't. But I'm so sick of the chair to the gut, then to the back. Chair to the gut, then to the back. Fucking hell, man. You got a chair, you fucking waffle that motherfucker in the fucking head, bitch. I loved Corbin smashing his head into the chair that was in the corner. That was cool. Very good. The crowd wanted fucking tables, man. I know you had plans for them later on, but fuck, they wanted tables, man. Every match was given so much time. Sometimes it gets a little bit annoying. But yeah, it was a brutal finish to the match with what Madcap did to Corbin, and good victory for that bloke. 2 to go, everybody. Let's try and get this done in under 30 minutes. Austin Theory defends the United States title against Mustafa Ali. I know Ali wanted to leave the company recently, and he's obviously been convinced to stay. I've never really been into Ali. I think he's a good wrestler, but he's only as good as the material written for him. So I don't blame him for wanting to leave, considering what happened with that Retribution group. I thought that was a fucking absolute joke of a storyline that they completely fucked up. Another question I had that had nothing to do with this match: whatever happened to Mansoor? Because I was thinking about Ali, and the last thing I remember seeing him do was feuding with Mansoor. What happened to that guy? Like, do they only bring him out for the Saudi Arabia stuff? Because I looked online and maybe he's injured. I don't know, but it seems like he hasn't had a match on a house show or on TV in 2 months. There was a front bump from Ali on the floor off the top rope, which was fucked. One criticism for Mustafa Ali: the leg claps are too obvious, dude. The move that Theory hit on Mustafa Ali when he jumped up to the top rope and hit a fucking Spanish fly, that was quite excellent. I remember going, shit, fucking hell, that was crazy. Some creative shit in this match, but the great thing about it was that nothing looked fake. Everything looked snug. Good on you two. You know, a match like this has the potential to look choreographed and fake, but they made sure that it looked real. As real as possible anyway. Theory wins, as he should have. A great match. Really, I have no complaints on this pay-per-view. A few things here and there are a bit annoying, but overall, when you watch the pay-per-view after it airs, you can skip through all the shit between the matches and most of the entrances. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. Main event. Hell in a Cell match. So glad that they only had one Hell in a Cell match this year. Fucking hell. I really hate when you get to these pay-per-views. There's a men's one, there's a women's one. It's too much sometimes. It's too much. Rollins, the polka dots were amazing. I really popped for that. One comment I wanted to make: Cody Rhodes is main eventing a WWE pay-per-view. This time last year, I would have told you, get fucked. That would never happen again, or never happen at all. And he's fucking doing it, and he closes the show winning a Hell in a Cell match. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man, but I don't dislike him anymore. The bruising on his chest was absolutely confronting. Full respect to Cody for going through a match like this. This will do nothing but gain him respect from the fans, the boys in the back, and the big man in charge. Vinnie Mac, yeah. There was a great spot with the figure four and Rollins reaching to the outside of the ring, grabbing a kendo stick and just hitting Cody right on that torn pectoral muscle. Then he had a fucking weightlifter's belt, and that fucking shot across the chest with the belt was just fucked up, bro. And of course, the tables came out. That's why I realized then, that's why Corbin and Moss didn't use a table. The WWE follows the rule of one. It's nice that somebody does it. You know what? I've said this before. I miss the flash photography during big spots. So I think Rollins came off the top with that frog splash. And I was expecting to see as he's in the air, the flicker of the lights in the crowd. Not one went off. I mean, I know they were inside the Hell in a Cell, but shit. I missed the flash photography. I think it really, it gave certain things a flashier kind of atmosphere around it. Right back to the match. So I really did like when Cody pulled out the bull rope and fucking when he hit him with the cowbell, the donk on Seth's head was fucking sweet. Cody getting powerbombed through the table. At this point, I thought to myself, this has been good, but my eyes are getting heavy. Don't drink beer during the day. I had 2 beers and it just makes you fucking tired, bro. The pedigree from Cody tickled me. I never thought I'd see him do it, but there we are. The crowd were on the edge of their seat. The false finishes leading toward the end were how you do it. They were how you do it. And, I'm not going to keep picking on AEW, but they got to fucking get their shit together when it comes to finishes and matches. The Crossroads spot was absolutely gnarly. And then Cody with the sledgehammer. He grabbed the sledgehammer and he went to hit him, and the selling was so good because he just dropped it. He's like, he couldn't do it. And then he managed to fucking just dig fucking deep, bitch. He dug deep and he fucking managed to get that sledgehammer up and fucking clock Seth. Now Cody goes 3-0 against Seth, and all those AEW fans been waiting to be like, see, I told you he was just going to fucking come in and start losing matches. 3-0 against a former WWE World Champion. So there you go. I don't dislike Cody Rhodes anymore. Can you believe it? Can you fucking believe that after how much I hated him last year with Rhodes to the top and all of his shitty angles in AEW, and how it just seemed like he was serving himself too much in all the stories, and he always had this particular spot on the show. It goes to show that when somebody gets put in a company like WWE and they actually make an effort with the guy, and the way that the presentation comes about, it's amazing how it just made my overall feelings about him wash away. And I guess the Stone Cold interview with Cody also helped. Okay, time to give a rating out of 10. So this weekend, what did I see? I saw NXT. I gave that a 6.5. I saw the GCW show. I think I gave that a 7. The GCW Tournament of Survival. Hell in a Cell. Did I enjoy this more than the others? I'm going to have to give this a 7 as well. I can't say that I enjoyed it more than GCW, but I definitely enjoyed it more, just slightly, than NXT. So there we have it, everyone. Didn't hate the pay-per-view. Won't ever rewatch it. Won't rewatch any of the matches from it. That's the difference between the Attitude Era and now. I could go back and watch them pay-per-views over and over again. These ones that today, they're good to watch once, but then it's time to move on. So thank you all out there for checking out my review show here on the WZWA Network of Hell in a Cell 2022. I'm Karlifornia. Find me on Twitter at Karlifornia WZWA. That's KarliForniawZWA. And, please, if you haven't subscribed to us yet, click that button, hit the bell, and stay in tune with what we've got going on, because we've got a lot of video game content going out. We've got the Insider's Edge podcast. We've got our reaction videos. We've got our review shows. I hope you enjoy if you check it out. And I guess there's one thing left to say. I will see you all down the fucking road.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.